Why isn't the Philippines as wealthy as Japan, Korea, and Taiwan? It has been a friend of the USA forever. Actually, the Philippines, not the Filipinos, the Philippines is wealthier than you think, than what you don't know of. And as far as I know, Japan, Korea, and Taiwan started building their industries and modernizing their economies earlier than the Philippines. This early start helped them to become wealthier faster. The Philippines is not rich as Japan, Korea, and Taiwan mainly because it didn't industrialize as quickly. And the Philippines faced a lot of historical challenges due to being colonized by Spaniards over 300 years. And the Philippines had different economic policies. And as far as I know, the Philippines did not invest as much in education, technology, and infrastructures compared to those countries. And the Philippines will only become rich every time the politics is around. When you vote for me, I will promise you I will build the road for you. I will buy you a lot of rice because rice is life. I will make sure I will build light and put water in the community. Just vote for me even though you know that I am lying, because all I have to do is give you some money and bribe you with 50 pesos for you to buy alcohol and cigarettes. Now, you know why the Philippines is not rich. Imagine controlling the country and the only way to control the people is to keep them under the barrel, and at the same time control them, making sure they have different mentality. And imagine if I'm the kind of person that wants to control the Philippines because I'm a narcissist. I will make sure they are addicted to something they cannot let go. Number one, I will make sure they eat unhealthy food, because the more unhealthy food they eat or consume, the more their brain will fry. And the more their brain will fry, the more I'm able to control them through fear and other things. And there are things that I wanted to say why the Philippines it is the way it is. But it is very sensitive, and I know that a lot of Filipino or most Filipino will not take it. And imagine if I will become the president of the Philippines as Helga Babushka. The Philippines will definitely change tremendously. But no, not a lot of people will definitely agree for me to become the president or control the Philippines. And I'll just give you another hint. A lot of countries need Filipino to work in their own country. And if I will become the president of the Philippines, or if I'm the one that control the Philippines, there will be no single Filipino who will ever want to get out the Philippines and work outside the country. And I feel like the Philippines is a factory for Filipino workers, because the more workers, the better. It's all about business, yo. You forgot about corruption all over Philippines. Nope, I did not forget, because I'm well aware of it. There are many corrupted countries in the world, not just the Philippines. And we can't say certain countries are corrupt because, to be honest with you, most people's mind are corrupted, not just Filipinos. I said this because the matrix or the system, whoever is controlling the world, is making sure that our mind is corrupted. We are being programmed to be corrupted. And the more our brain and mind being corrupted, the more we are able to be controlled. And yes, I agree, Philippines is unfortunately run by a corrupt politicians. The politicians all over the world, not just the Philippines, cannot perform corruptions. Not unless the people are allowing them to be corrupt. The problem with the Philippines, and I'm sorry Filipinos if you're offended by this, a lot or most Filipinos' mentality are corrupted. And from what I observed and experienced in my life and studying about it, Filipinos' mindset can easily get corrupted. And don't ask me why, because the answer is very complicated. Many Filipino, or 99.9% of Filipinos I know, votes corrupt politicians. Do Filipinos vote that politicians because they believe that politicians can change the country? Absolutely not. Most Filipinos I know, again, I know, who voted for the politicians received some sort of money in order for them to vote for that politician. What I mean by this is not the politician's fault why they perform corruption. Well, in a way, it's their fault because I know that most politicians are narcissists, but they are only a narcissist if we are allowing them or if the people are allowing them. Now, for the Philippines or for the Filipinos, they are the reason why there are many corrupt politicians in the Philippines. Because if you're allowing the politician to buy your vote, you're only allowing him or her to corrupt the system. And a lot of you might say, well, you know, it's not my fault because I really needed to buy San Miguel beer or smokes or cigarettes, or I really need to gamble, or I really need to buy rice just for the day. That's why I allow the politician to corrupt me. And then you complain, oh, I wish I haven't voted for him or for her. But you did vote for him or for her. You allow that politician to buy your vote. For what? 50 peso? 100 peso? I mean, what are the consequences that you voted for that corrupt politicians? It's your children, and the Filipino children are the one that is suffering. It only took the politician to buy your vote in just one day, but you suffer for years and years. And the second problem in the Philippines is the system of education. Whoever is controlling the Philippines, which we know it's the rich people, they made sure that only people affords the school or education, while unfortunate people cannot afford the education. Therefore, only rich people who will continue controlling the Philippines because they're the only one who can afford the education. Now, you see, Filipinos, if you're one of those who accept bribery from the politicians during politics, then you're one of the main problem or one of the main reasons why the Philippines is corrupt. And I'm sorry to tell you the truth, but most of the time, truth hurts. Just say Filipinos do not have what it takes to be an advanced country, not all these excuses. And why would I want to say that? Filipinos have a lot of potential to become advanced in the country. But let me tell you something. There are 3 types of Filipinos in the Philippines. Number 1 are narcissists. Number 2 are empaths, and number 3 are religious. Narcissist Filipinos are obviously the one who is currently controlling the Philippines. And obviously that's the reason why they're able to control the Philippines, because they are narcissists. Well, obviously the narcissists are the one that is currently controlling the entire world. And hence why, in order for them to control the entire world, they must put narcissistic humans in every country in order to manipulate and control the system and its people. And for those Filipinos who does not know what the word narcissist is, start learning now what is the narcissistic traits rather than dancing, gossiping, fighting here on TikTok. So for those Filipinos who are currently complaining about their lives, but yet you have cell phones and all you do is dance, gossip, and fight here on TikTok, instead, you should educate yourself. What is the meaning of narcissist? If you learn what the meaning of the narcissistic traits is, then you will learn how the Philippines is being run by narcissists. And I'm not just talking about the Philippines because I mentioned earlier that the world is run by narcissists. Now, for empaths, there are many empaths Filipinos in the Philippines. They just don't know this because they don't know that they are empaths. And that's the reason why Filipino empaths are easy to manipulate, easy to control, and easy to put fear in their head because they don't know that they are empaths. Now, if you're a Filipino but you consider yourself being a kind-hearted person, a good person, but you do not understand why people still hurt you, then you may be an empath. So Filipinos, learn the meaning of the word empaths. When you realize that you're actually an empath, then you will know your potential of becoming a successful person. And to be honest with you, empaths, not just Filipino empaths, I'm talking about all the empaths people in the world. You may think that you're weak, but you're not. If you use your power of being an empath, we can easily defeat the narcissist. Empaths are way more powerful than narcissists, but just because you are an empath, it doesn't mean that you already have a power. You must train yourselves how to bring out your inner power within you. It's not that easy to train yourselves because it's a lot of work and it's a lot of disciplines. And the moment that you bring out your power and you realize how powerful you are, then you will say, wow, all the hard work that I did was definitely worth it. Now, the third types of people in the Philippines are the religious people. The religious people, I'm sorry, no offense Filipinos, they are the one that are close-minded. Not all, but many. They are the one that prevents the Philippines from rising up because of their belief system. And their belief system is making the Philippines struggles to rise up. A lot of religious people are preventing a lot of change in the Philippines. And some religious people in the Philippines are also very toxic. Now, I'm not saying that it's just the Philippines because you may think I'm generalizing. The worst people I've met in my life are unfortunately religious people. Listen, Filipinos, I know many of you are very religious and many of you are empaths. I need you to know, or I need you to learn to open up your horizon. Learn what the word spirituality is. Because the moment that you will learn what the word spirituality is, you will unlock and discover a lot of hidden messages that you will never have thought you will discover in your life. And I promise you, you're gonna thank me later. I think you didn't learn your history lesson well. Did you know Philippines was wealthier than all countries you mentioned once upon a time? It was a US pull out and transfer all the factories. Well, if you did not hear me mentioning it from the very beginning, I did mention that Philippines is wealthier than you think. And you mentioned Philippines was wealthier than all countries I mentioned once upon a time. Philippines was wealthier before, and Philippines is wealthier now. I'm talking about now. Yes, that's correct. And I don't know if a lot of Filipinos are aware of this. Philippines has a lot of resources that most Filipino do not know. Even other countries know that the Philippines has a lot of wealth and a lot of potential. But in order for them to get those resources, Philippines has to be compromised. I'm talking about the entire country, the entire islands, and the entire people inhabiting Philippines. I'm saying this because there's a map hiding beneath the country of the Philippines. I'm talking about an ancient city or civilization under the Philippines. So, this is the Philippines, and the city that I'm talking about is under the Philippines or beneath the Philippines. And if we go back way, way, way past history, there's actually another history that is hidden beneath the surface. And I'm not going to talk about it because it's a long story. But to make the story short, the Philippines is wealthier than what we think. Because once upon a time, there used to be a city or civilization before the Philippines. And something happened that the city went down. And hence why there's Philippines, and hence why the Philippines contains a lot of 7,000 islands. And there's a chance that there are some beings still currently living in that area, or perhaps they are protecting it. Because that map hidden beneath has a lot of gold. And there's a chance there's also a lot of diamonds and more. I've said this because I've seen it in my own eyes. Don't ask me how. I just saw it and that's why I know. Okay, so now you know.